Hey guys, this is the professor. Today, out at the cabin, we're going to make Sloppy Joe Casserole. And we're going to do that in the Dutch oven, right here by the fire, because it's really cold outside, and the closer that I can stay to this fire, the better I'm going to feel. Now, what we've got today is our 9.5-inch Dutch, but it has a long handle on it. And it's got the 3 legs down here with a few spider webs that come along with that. They'll burn off pretty quick. My grandmother called this a spider because of the legs, and they were made just for the fireplace because the coals under there just like the trivets that we use. So first thing I'm going to do is get some coals under this, get this heated up, and we're going to brown some hamburger. Now the first step is to go ahead and brown up about a ½ pound of hamburger. What we've done here is get the coals underneath the Dutch. We'll kind of break that up. You can see it's already getting hot. And get that as brown as we can, and we'll drain the grease off. Okay, we decided here to add a few bacon strips to this as well. We had some of those left over from breakfast, so we just went ahead and threw those in there, use that up, add some more flavor to it. So you can see our hamburger's brown. The hamburger was really good. It didn't have very much fat in it to drain out, so it was really lean and good to go in the first place. Now our next ingredients here, first of all, are going to be a can of Sloppy Joe mix. This is a Walmart brand. We like it real well, and you can use Manwich or any other type, so go ahead and add that in. It has a lot of the flavorings that we need, a lot of the spices already, so you don't have to worry about bringing a lot of that out to camp. You just go ahead and get that in there. Of course, there's our heat-resistant rubber scraper. You don't want to do this if your scraper isn't heat-resistant, because it will sing and toast it. So, let's move that right on to the next course here. What we've got is 1 16-ounce can of Bush's Best Baked Beans. We like the country style, or just about any style of Bush's beans. This has some bacon in it, and we're going to go ahead and put that in. One nice thing about this recipe is it is expandable, so that if you have more people, all you have to do is just buy a bigger can of beans, or if you got a couple of smaller cans, go ahead and put those in. There'll be 3 of us eating today, and we may have a few leftovers, but that's okay. That saves us cooking again at supper time. So let's just go ahead and get that mixed up. You can see there on the fire side that it's already beginning to boil up a little bit, and that's what we want. So get that all kind of stirred up there. It's already starting to look good. Let's get that going, get that heated all the way through while we still got coals. So there is our Sloppy Joe Casserole starting to shape up already. Okay guys, now we want to mix up our biscuit topping. First thing we'll do here is pick up our bean can and put it to another use. Got the beans out of it, got it cleaned out. Let's go ahead and beat up our egg in there. So we're going to make our biscuit topping. And got our heat-resistant rubber scraper here. Let's go ahead and beat that egg up a little bit. And then let's add about 1 cup of log cabin baking mix. Now, once again, we don't have a measuring cup, but we know that the can is 16 ounces, so about half full would be about 1 cup. Once again, with log cabin mix, it isn't too critical. All of the proportions are right from the mix. So just go ahead and shake in what you think might be about half a can full. Leave yourself some room to stir. Let's kind of mix that egg into it a little bit. And of course, we're going to need some water. So here's a container that I had the brown sugar in. It was clean when we made the baked apples. So let's go ahead and add some water. Kind of mix that up. Once again, what we're looking for here is about like pancake batter. In fact, it's just about the same thing as pancake batter, except I didn't add any sugar to it. We can see it's a little thick here. Need some water, and continue mixing until we get the consistency of pancake batter. Alright, now we got our topping mix about the consistency of pancake batter. And what we're going to do then is just kind of add that all over the top, kind of spread it out in here. And You wouldn't necessarily have to use the log cabin baking mix. A Jiffy cornbread mix would work well. A Jiffy biscuit mix would work well. But of course we always keep our log cabin baking mix out here on the shelf, and we use it for just about everything. Now, a little bit more of the story to go along with this. Here, a couple of years ago, we were finishing up the chimney here on the cabin, and we had a couple of Amish workers hired who were going to come and help lay the stone on that. Well, when they showed up, they brought a couple of their friends along with them so they could get the work done more quickly, and we had only planned lunch for 2 extras. So, what the original recipe called for was simply the hamburger and the Sloppy Joe mix with a Bisquick topping. But Mary Ann immediately thought we must make that recipe bigger, so she added the concept of the beans. And since that time, this has become one of our family's favorites for get-togethers on the holidays, as we go to potluck meals, family reunions. This has kind of become one of the standards, and also goes extremely well here at the log cabin. Okay, now, just like all other Dutch oven cooking, lots of coals on the top, not too many coals on the bottom. Now, of course, we had some pretty hot coals down there as we were browning the hamburger, but now as we move into the baking phase, we're just going to let those coals kind of die down and get these top coals fired up. So we'll keep the heat on this, and of course what that's going to do is to brown our biscuit topping and complete our casserole. Okay, let's check the Sloppy Joe Casserole. It's been smelling good here for several minutes, so we know something's happening in there, and sure enough, browning on the top, things are looking good. It's time for lunch. Okay, we have our Sloppy Joe Casserole. Dipping some of that up here out of the Dutch oven. It is really hot and delicious. The topping is all brown, and we're going to have lunch. It's 42 degrees here in the cabin. It's warmed up 10 degrees since our fire got started, and you can probably still see my breath here. But even at that, it's so warm right here next to this fire that I'm about to sweat. So we're going to go ahead and eat lunch, and we'll see you for the dessert course later. This is the Professor, and I'll see you soon.